forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon to be notified of future episodes.
Great Barrier Island is stunning, and we had always planned to revisit and explore further. We dropped anchor in Smokehouse Bay, which is a favourite with the sailing community as it has fresh water, wood-fired hot water, laundry facilities and a pizza oven. It is a beautiful little bay and a nice spot to socialise with the other yachties. Doing a bit of bushwhacking and exploring of the walking and farm tracks behind the peninsula is hugely rewarding. There are tracks to suit everyone, with spectacular views across the ridge, taking in Man of War Passage and Little Barrier Island. There's a lot of native trees and bushes, particularly the Manuka and Kanuka, which give off a wonderful aroma. It was on one of these walks that we met Sven, the owner of Barrier Gold, which produces Manuka and Kanuka oils. He is a local legend in these parts, and he offered to give us a tour of his workshop.
Big heating element, water gets to boiling point, steam is created, steam goes up through the plant material, the pressure of the steam breaks open the oil sacs situated under the leaves, oil is vaporised, swept off the steam through the curly pipe into this part of the condenser. Starts off here as a vapour, by the time it reaches the other end it's been cooled back down to a liquid, or what we call a distillate, a mixture of water and oil. Okay. Continuing flow of that mixture down here drives the oil and the water down this vessel here. So basically, that's the oil.
Okay.
So if we're doing Kanuka, extracting Kanuka oil, from putting it in to extracting it, you're looking at an extraction time around 5.5 to 6 hours. That'll give us an average yield. It could be up to 16 to 1800 mils of oil. If we're doing Manuka, different animal altogether, you're looking at between 8 to 12 hours extracting time. And if we can average around 1200 mils, 1200 mils works out as 1 kg. So it's a lot of work for bugger all.
Wow, it is.
And a lot of energy burn too. Even if we were burning diesel, each burn would cost us around $350 a burn. But because we're burning waste oil, luckily it's free at the moment.
So before we went for our walks, I went to close this hatch here, and it was a bit stiff. So I gave it a tug, and look what happened.
This has had a leak.
Snapped off.
It has had a leak, and I'm wondering if this is like a pressure crack from where these screws have gone in, I think. Yeah, it's just on where the screw holes are, so it's obviously a weak point.
Basically, I've snapped it.
Yeah.
I don't know my own strength.
I hate to tell you this, Joe, but strength was not involved in this. Temporary fix as we glue this together. It's perfectly on the seal there, look.
Attempting to fix the window what I broke.
Using araldite. We're not sure if it's going to take, so we just leave that on there for another 5 minutes.
Allegedly.
Is that the plan? And a mere 5 minutes later,
we have glued it.
Yeah, the glue seems to be good. There's a small ridge on it, but it'll be fine for what we're wanting to do.
This has been our temporary cover.
Yeah.
Our Le Creuset lid, which actually fitted perfectly. I quite like it. I think all the hatches should fit.
It's pretty good. Let's see if we can just put this in place.
So I think it can safely be said then that the glue didn't work.
No, it's the wrong sort of glue. You can see it's just not. Sorry, Jack.
DIY failure number 1. Yay! The Christmas decorations. They won't take long to put up. You need some sunlight to wobble, Mr. Snowman. We couldn't afford a celebrity to come and do this for us. So,
You just got me.
As the captain of the ship, you'd have to hereby declare, the Christmas lights.
On.
Yay! Even though it's still daylight outside.
Fresh batteries and everything.
Daisy's back this morning and she can actually hear the rustle of the bag. This is my husband, not known for his affinity with ducks normally. He has been attacked by them in the past. Oh, Dr. Doolittle. She's like, oh no, hang on, the bag's over here. Boat jobs.
Looking at our windlass. We had been chatting with Rachel and Alice, who also have a Lipari 41 Catamaran. They had to replace their windlass due to some corrosion issues. As we had the same model, we thought it would be prudent to give ours a service and a checkup. Taking the unit apart is fairly straightforward, but it was not long before we saw a couple of things that needed further attention.
What I wanted to do was have a look at this and see what pitting we've got, so I'm going to give it a good clean up. Our windlass base through here, salt water and sand and stuff just sort of sits, and while it sits it's nibbled away all the aluminium through in here just around where this seal goes, so we're going to have to replace this entire unit, this top plate, which is a bit of a pain.
We also discovered that the clutch cones on the winch were damaged. Until we could organise a replacement, the best we could do was give the unit a good clean, grease and service. We ordered a replacement unit for delivery to the boatyard so we could pick it up the following week. Next job on the list, the trampoline attachment points. Our old setup used 4 separate lines to connect the net. We replaced the lines with a thinner but stronger Dyneema cord line. Then double up the connections and only picked up 2 connection points in the corners and 4 connection points along the leading edges. This reduced single points of failure, and now if one line had an issue, we would have a much smaller gap to contend with.
I know, it's another sunset. But quite frankly, they never get old. Not to us anyway.
We are in Waidahi Bay. We've just come around from Kiwiriki Bay, and we're just out the front of Sven's place. We met him the other day and had a chat with him about some of his Manuka and Kanuka oils. And we've also done an oil change, so we've got some waste oil for him to use. He uses that when he's making up the oils and stuff, so we can not offload it, but we can donate that to him for him to use.
Upcycling, I believe it's called, is it?
Yeah.
Upcycling? Recycling?
Yeah. And so he said that he'd take that off our hands, and we're going to go around, have a chat, and buy some stuff.
The lovely Trish, who's just sold me some of the most beautiful Manuka oil, and apparently a product that's going to make me look 16 by tomorrow. Have you noticed that I'm getting younger by the second?
Yes, exactly.
First it was 20, now it's 16. And so if you come to Barrier, these are the people that you come and see.
Oh, that would be lovely. Come and see us. We've got a natural, very rustic shop.
It's very lovely. It smells fantastic in here though, doesn't it?
Our time in the Barrier was coming to a close. We made one last trip into Port Fitzroy, where we came across what we believe is the finest sign we have ever seen.
Telling it like it is on Great Barrier. Sunday the 16th of December. We are getting set to weigh anchor and leave Great Barrier Island. More's the pity because it's been beautiful out here. We have to head back across to Whangarei. We're hauling DT out on Thursday. The forecast is for variable, which normally means it's going to swing around the dial at about 3 knots. So like I say, it's probably going to be an engines on sort of day. We've also got a problem with our starboard engine. Do you want to tell us what's happening with that, my lovely?
Yeah, the tacho isn't working, so hopefully it's just a connection on the back of the panel. I'll take it apart and have a look en route. Hopefully it isn't an MDI issue, so we'll
All
see.
their engines.
Yeah.
Boat jobs.
Electronics on boats, not good.
Should I add it to the list of things to do for the haulout? Anyway, cup of tea, time to weigh the anchor and get going. Where are my dolphins? Have we ordered them?
Yeah, they're just up ahead, look.
Okay.
No, I'm serious, they're just up ahead.
Where?
Oh, seabirds.
Yeah, because they look the same as
Pesky
dolphins, don't they?
seabirds.
Hasn't been too bad, has it? Just like the flipping engines on all day.
Yeah, and look, tomorrow would have been the same, so...
And then westerly, which is on the nose, which is what we didn't want.
Exactly, so at least we're a little bit early now, and then tomorrow we can do the next top up the river, so it's all good. Just filling in the log.
Where are we going to?
We're heading up to Norsand to, well, eventually haul out later in the week, but we're going to be there early and do a few things in the river and local to there this week.
So this is Phil,
That's a chauffeur.
basically having a look at the sails, telling us
Without-
what we need to do.
Without the knuckle in them. And we'll
Head
just
sail's
put
already
loops
down, so he's going to take that away and
here.
service it.
And then the
Fortunately, there's no wind today, so we were able to put the sails up for Phil to have a look.
very good for the age of it.
Oh, Phil's verdict is that there's really not much wrong with the sail, given that it's 4 years old. He's going to. We're taking the battens out. Hunter's here helping.
How's that?
They're going to take the battens out as we drop it, and then once we're on the hard next week, they're going to come and take it away, do a few repairs.
Go up the back end, eh?
Had a good chat about how to change our reefing system, which will be good. So yeah, all good on a sunny day. So why are we up early, darling?
We are hauling at Norsand on a beautiful windless day.
Just close enough to pass the lines to us.
Just skim it so that we just pass the lines, Joe.
Slow.
Okay. Morning.
Alright, morning. Gonna pass the set line.
I didn't know if you were waving or dancing. Hauling out double trouble always causes a certain amount of apprehension. After all, we are placing our home and its contents onto a hydraulic trailer, where it is then pulled up a ramp and then driven across the boatyard before being placed on blocks. It turned out that we had nothing to worry about, as in what seemed no time at all, Kevin, David and the team at Norsand had double trouble safely up the slipway. Then it was time for a quick freshwater rinse before heading to our hardstand berth. This was just the beginning of our stay, and it meant that we would be doing boat jobs for at least the next month as we got double trouble ready for her next trip to the Pacific. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave us a comment, give us a like, hit the subscribe. We'll see you next week.